Hello everyone and welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. I don't know why you can't see me at the moment, but I'm working on getting us up on the screen. My name is Steve.
We are
Eunice.
trapped in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, it's really weird. I had you, I had me, and then, oh, there you are. Where am I? I'm not on. That's very bizarre. Let me come back. I'll be back. Might as well run the show from here. So there's Michael. I'll be back with you shortly, but this is our December 1st, 2020 show.
The people watching us live right now on YouTube. So about halfway through the show, and if we don't have too much going on, which this week it's a toss-up, we may have to stretch some things, we want to hear from you. So how does that happen? Well, it's really simple. You need Skype. Go on Skype, find Superman homepage, and message us that you'd like to be on the show. Now, a couple of things. One, message us. Don't just call because that can screw things up. As you can see, this is all tenuous. And also, if you're watching WGBS Live and listening to the audio through a external speaker, please turn that down because we are on a bit of a delay and that can screw things up.
Yes, indeed. And for those watching live via YouTube, we invite you to get involved and be part of the show tonight. Post your comments, ask questions. Michael and I will react to them as the show goes on. I'm trying to get my face back up on the screen. This is really bizarre. I will be with...
Yeah, they're all in there.
Hello, everyone. We really apologize about that. That was neither Michael nor myself's fault. You can blame my local Optus internet provider. Thank you for sticking with us. I know some of you probably had to leave and couldn't stick around, but we really do apologize. Hopefully it's going to stick around. We have had some thunderstorms in the area here, which may have contributed to the problem. But yeah, not impressed. But either way, let's push on before things go crazy again. Thanks, Michael, for hanging around and being patient, and thank you, everyone, for hanging in there.
Yep, I appreciate it too. I was saying it's all your fault in the chat.
Yeah.
Actually, I was blaming the storms.
I could feel the knives in my back.
Yeah, but apparently Anthony is agreeing with you that your internet in Australia tends to go crazy during
the worst time. And we have some pretty severe thunderstorms, but yeah, apologize about that. We're back on track. Let's push on. You know how to get involved in the show. You've got the Skype thing there. We probably won't have time for callers now that we are running 15 minutes behind time, but nevertheless, we will push on and get into the news that we want to report on this week. No movie news, nothing there that we can report on, but on the Superman and Lois side of things, Bitsy Chulok did post some behind-the-scenes photos, or a photo, of the guys working. So there you see, we've got Tyler Hoechlin as Clark Kent. We've got his sons, Jordan Elsis and Alexander Garfin, who play John and Jordan Kent, the twin sons of Lois and Clark. Seems like there's a crew member in the shot there. It looks like the Kent boys are doing some painting, some renovations, possibly on the Kent farmhouse.
Probably.
Yeah.
Though the guy in the background, I think they're putting that in all the shows. Wasn't that in The Mandalorian? Like a week or two back, there was a shot where you saw one of the crew in the background.
In his jeans and t-shirt. Yeah, but
they're gonna make a figure of him. I'm telling you right now. No, I like that Bitsy has been really willing to share like behind the scenes stuff with us. I think she kind of senses that there's a lot of excitement for the show. At least on Twitter that I follow, there is. I don't see much of the hate, which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of neat that she's like, providing. They also look like they're all on their phones, which would also be kind of a realistic shot of the Kent family. So
with teenagers, looks like the one in the background on the left there. I think that's Alexander Garfin. He's putting his mask, his COVID mask, in his pocket, tucking it away, ready to do their scene. So it looks like they're really taking the whole thing seriously.
screen with me, by the way, so I can see what you're saying.
Yes, sorry, apologise about that.
That's
There
okay.
it is. Yeah, so there he is on the left there, tucking his little mask into his pocket.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
It's better.
and talk about safety. I saw this shot that was posted on Bitsy's Twitter account just before we went live. Obviously, in the van, the bus that they're taking, the coach, doing the whole social distancing thing here. Do not sit here. So probably every second or third seat's got one of these on it, so that people aren't getting too close to one another. But they spare no expense with their COVID signs. They're doing custom-made ones.
Yeah, I immediately want one of those.
Yes, which is
like seriously, I'm not even kidding. I want that exact one.
I want that just to reserve my own seat in places like don't sit here, Superman's sitting here. So that's really cool to see Bitsy doing those behind the scenes stuff for us, sharing what's going on. I'm really interested why the camera screen is mounted upside down.
That is kind of weird. But I assume they know what they're doing.
Yes.
It's like a professional show. So
yeah. John's asking, do we know how many complete episodes we're going to be getting in season 1?
I thought it was it like 20? Or
I think it's a full
season. Did they say that many?
Yeah.
It's like almost a full season.
Yeah. Anthony's asking who the one is with the long hair, the character. That's one of the twin sons. Obviously, one's more clean cut than the other. One's letting his hair grow, and the other one's, the short sides and back. But that's one of the twin sons. I think that, as I said, is Jordan Kent, the less sporty of the two.
One's a little bit country, one's a little bit rock and roll.
So yeah, there you have it. That's the behind the scenes photo. Thanks to Bitsy Chulok for sharing that on her social media, and she's well worth following because she does get really involved with her followers. So and posts a lot of stuff. So well worth a look. This one was interesting. This news that an artist by the name of Gendi Tatkovsky. He's best known for cartoons such as Dexter's Laboratory, Star Wars Clone Wars, Samurai Jack, Hotel Transylvania, others like that. He posted these images on his social media accounts of some sketches that he did of a never-made cartoon that he was involved in. He says, here's something different. Once upon a time, I was asked to do some Superman short cartoons, and well, as sometimes these things go, it went away. But here are some never-before-seen drawings.
I wonder if that was going to be like around the time of Superman Returns. And they were going to have like shorts on Cartoon Network, which would make perfect sense. Just get some more some exposure to the show. Stop grumbling. I got to pick you up. But yeah, I usually like his artwork. I am not really feeling these designs.
Left of what would have been tonight's program. I will push on for the time being and give you some of the details that I was going to talk about. I was really interested in, if it drops out again, apologise, we will just abandon the thing right there and then. I was really interested to see this article, this comic book from DC this week about Superman glowing. Not sure if you had seen this one. So supposedly Superman glows. According to Black Lightning, Superman has a heavenly glow, a shine, it says. He says, I didn't know all of his powers, none of us knew everything he could do, but I think the same intense density that made him bulletproof prevented his skin from absorbing light, so it reflected it just a bit, just enough to give him an unearthly heavenly glow. That seems bizarre to me. I mean, don't you think that Superman's skin would absorb the light because that's where he gets his powers from, the sunlight, Earth's yellow sun? But I imagine if you did see Superman glowing or having this kind of sparkle to him, that would be quite awe-inspiring. But anyway, this is a panel from this comic book, The Other History of the DC Universe, #1, a Black Label publication from DC, written by John Ridley with art by Alex Dos Diaz. So if you want to check that out, that is available But yeah, that seems a bit bizarre to me that Superman would glow or have a shine. Kind of brings to mind the Twilight vampires, but nevertheless, that's the case. That's part of the canon at the moment. Superman has a bit of a glow to him. So yeah, it is what it is. Comic books out this week. If you're a comic book reader, here is what you can look forward to in the world of comic books. We have Deceased, Dead Planet number 6, the final issue of this. I know there's one more, I think. 6 of 7, it says there on the cover. That is available in a variant cover and also a tribute variant cover. Also out this week, the first of the Endless Winter titles, Justice League Endless Winter number 1, which is also available in this weird looking variant cover. And then also out this week is Justice League by Scott Snyder, Deluxe Edition, Book 2, hardcover. So if you're a fan of Scott Snyder, that's what's available this week in the world of comic books. So if you're reading those. Also, our reviews are up on the website. I did a review of the Deceased Dead Planet number 6 comic book, and with Tom Taylor writing this, I'm really impressed. It's fast paced. It goes at a breakneck pace, and there's just lots going on. And if you're interested in the Deceased titles, highly recommend the Dead Planet series. Also, our reviewer James Lance has reviewed Justice League Endless Winter number 1. It's one of 2. Obviously, there is a whole series of Endless Winter comic books coming out this month of December, so you should check that out if you get a chance. He gave it a 5 out of 5, saying that the first chapter is evenly paced and balanced well between character moments, particularly the Flash, and super fast superhero action. So definitely check that out as well. Let's get to the fan favorite things before this drops out. So I'm going to quickly go through the fan favorite segment of our show because people did send in some stuff, and I want to get to the next segment. I want to get the next question out so fans can have a look at what you've got out there. That's not what I'm looking. Oh, yes, it is. So Jesse Church sent in an answer saying that our question was, what is the oldest item in your Superman collection? And Jesse Church said, currently my oldest Superman item is Action Comics 406, published in November 1971, coincidentally the month and year I was born. So he's a 71 baby like me. He's a couple of months younger than me, but thank you, Jesse. Also, this week, Roger Preb sent in this. He says, this is a Valentine's card from 1940. You can find it on eBay for a reasonable price. I bought this one for $30 last year. So that's a really nice old 1940s Superman Valentine's card. So thank you, Roger. Also, this week, Danny sent in this saying, here are some of my picks of my oldest Superman items. Superboy number 68 from 1958. The first appearance of Bizarro. To go along with that is Action Comics 254, the first time Bizarro and adult Superman met. Bizarro isn't his favourite villain, he says, just one of the cheaper first appearances to get at a con. He says, sorry I'm a week behind on this one, but I also including a pick of my favourite comic, which... that's not what he sent. Which was the framed... There it is. The framed 1975 Platinum Edition. I kept the bag, but I had to take the beauty out and frame it. So thank you to Danny for sending in those. Next up is Douglas Meacham. He sent in this saying, not counting comic books, the oldest item in my modest collection is the Power Flight Superman action figure put out by Kenner in 1995. I've kept it since I was a kid, including the box and trading card. Unfortunately, it is the only figure in this line that I own, but I'd love to hunt down the rest someday. Thank you, Douglas. There it is out of the package as well. Next up, we have Robert. Lois sent in, this book was my first comic book purchase. I got it in a second-hand bookstore in 1965. By the way, it is also my favourite comic in my collection, which is in answer to last week's question that we had. Here is mine. I'm going to take off the graphic right there. This is my oldest item in my collection. It is a Superman number 12 comic book from 1941. It's not in the best condition, but it is nevertheless the oldest item in my collection, and I've got it bagged there. So I thought I would share that with you. All right, so what can you do to get involved in, or what is our next big question? And the email is coming up on your screen right there in the bottom right-hand corner. Our next fan favorite question, I should say, is do you have a favorite original Superman sketch or drawing from a famous artist? So if you have a sketch or a drawing from a favorite famous Superman artist, or any artist for that matter, then send in your response to the fan favorite segment of our show. Send it to info@supermanhomepage.com. So a sketch or drawing from a famous artist of any caliber, then send that in to the fan favorite segment of our show. And so there you have it, the fan favorite segment of our show. At least I got that in. So we've got that to go on. All right. So also out this week from McFarlane Toys, they showed us these new Dark Knight's Death Metal action figures that they've got coming out. And I'll just grab the images for you here. This is some of the images of these action figures. We've got the Superman Dark Knight's Death Metal action figure, which comes with a number of different attachables. Also out from that collection will be Wonder Woman. There's also Batman with a guitar, and Robin King, the villainous character there from the series of the same name. And McFarlane Toys, I don't know when these will be out. It says the spring of 2021, so that's the USA or Northern Hemisphere spring. Each of the figures also comes with a piece of the Dark Father action figure for you to put together. So you need to collect them all to be able to get the Dark Father action figure to piece that together. So some interesting figures there from the Dark Knight's Death Metal range from McFarlane Toys. I was also interested to see that DC won a lawsuit this week, a legal battle within the Indonesian legal system. Back in May 2019, we reported on the fact that DC had lost their legal appeal against PT Marxing Fam Makmur, a Surabaya-based food and beverage company in Indonesia that held the intellectual rights to Superman. And they had, let me get rid of that figure there, they had actually released and have a range of these Superman candies and biscuits and wafers and things like that, some chocolates and ice creams and things like that. But now in 2020, as of November, the appeal by DC was successfully won, and the trademark cancellation has been put in place, and this company now has to remove all their products from shelves with the brand of Superman all across it. So DC is now the legal owner, as it should be, of the Superman character in Indonesia. So that's an interesting one in this day and age. You don't think something like that would be able to happen. But that is it. That's what's happened this week. I just skimmed through them. There's also a 1955 Kellogg's Dangle Dandy Superman character, mobile, that you can put together, which is up on our website. I've grabbed those for you to have a look at. Also, the Super Trivia Quiz has been updated for another month. And 3 questions we're asking you this time around are, what is the actual name of Bizarro's planet? Not Bizarro World, but the actual name. What planet does Mon-El traditionally come from? And what planet does Lobo traditionally come from? So if you think you know the answers to all 3 questions, come by our website, look under the favorites menu, and you will find the Super Trivia Quiz. And you've got until the 28th of December to get involved in the Super Trivia Quiz section of our show. Well, for what it is, that was our show tonight. I apologize once again for the dilemmas with the internet connection. It hung on enough for me to be able to get this enough of this done. Apologize once again for everyone who tried to watch the show live and it just kept kicking out and dropping out on us. I thank Michael for his participation and for being as patient as he was. And thank you to the 6 people at the moment who stuck around during what was a tumultuous 45 minutes or so of trying to get this show live on air. Again, thank you to the NBN and Optus here in Australia for the great service that they provide with the internet connection. But look, Michael and I will be back next week on Tuesday, November 8th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Standard Time for another edition of WGBS Live. We hope that everything works out then. Want to thank Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, our sponsors and patrons. And if you want to sponsor our show and help us, head to patreon.com/Superman homepage or click the join button below on YouTube. You'll be able to have different levels of perks there for different membership levels. So we'll be back next week. Hope to see you then. Until then, stay safe. And thanks once again for sticking around thus far. I'll see you next week. I'm Steve Eunice from supermanhomepage.com.